What do you do if your honeybee colonies run out of honey midwinter? Well, if you don't do what I do, I guess you're probably screwed. Because during the winter when it's cold outside, you can't feed syrup. And I Googled it just to see what the information was about what to do. And they say to feed sugar cakes, dry sugar, because you can't feed syrup because they'll get cold. And plus, too much liquid in their system means they have to do cleansing flights more often. This is Domino cane sugar. I will not ever feed my bees beet sugar. Beet sugar is a GMO product. Means it can handle the chemicals that they put on the plants. It's in the food. And I don't understand. I've been doing business with the Dant lately, last few years. And I suggested to them, and their pollen substitute, if you look at the ingredients, it's soybean flour and corn syrup. And I suggested, well, why not use a non-GMO based soybean flour and corn syrup to make your pollen substitute? Because there is not a non-GMO pollen substitute on the market. I tried Band Lakes a few years ago before I bought the Dants, and my bees didn't take it. It was February a few years ago. They wouldn't take it. Better Bee sells a global patty, winter patty, that's very good. The bees have always taken that, but it's too difficult to get and too expensive. So as I was saying, I made 150 colonies last summer, and I did not feed syrup in the fall. Domino cane sugar was $8.77 for a 10-pound bag, and robbing was a real pain in the ass. And the commercial beekeeper in my area, he knows I'm here. It's Michigan Bee Works. He's got over 3,000 colonies. He knows I'm here. I've talked to him, and I've noticed he'll have feeders on his apiaries in other locations, but around my area he doesn't, because he's assuming, and he knows his bees will come to my colonies and rob out my colonies and steal their syrup or honey. So I don't feed syrup anymore in the fall just because of that and the fact that it's too expensive. So I ended up with a lot of colonies that didn't have enough honey to get through winter. And I'm doing indoor hive inspections on colonies that I know don't have honey. I move them around a lot. I'm picking them up, and I know some of the wood is heavier than other hives. You know, I make a lot of homemade stuff out of 2x12s and 2x10s, and some of them are more dense and heavier. So I've been wrong a few times versus the 3/4 pine that's usually pretty light. So let me show you. I have a colony over here. And because I'm always downsizing my hives to make it easier to move them around from one place to another and get more into a room, if I find a colony that didn't have any honey in a deep and they were all up in the medium, I would take the deep away during the end of fall, early winter, going into winter. And then a lot of times there'd be a lot of bees in that medium, and they'll eat all the honey. And if I don't catch it, they'll end up starving. But even with the sugar in the hive, this colony here, I just moved this around this morning, and I noticed they were light, and all the bees, or most of the bees, were up here eating the sugar. And then I took the bottom screen, dumped it, and there was a whole bunch of bees. There was actually 2 of these containers full of bees. And I was just in that room there, and I noticed they're starting to move around a little bit. So I put them in the containers, and I put them in here, and I brought them in the house. And I have my hair dryer there, but I didn't need it because the sun is shining. And you can see the squirt some local honey. I buy local honey. I squirt it over the screen, and they get up there and they suck up all that honey. And then the bees that have enough honey give it to the other bees that don't have any or didn't get any. And then this deep right here has got several frames of honey. I'm running out of those. I only have these 3 left. But let me show you something else. All right, I've been constantly moving hives from one place to another all winter long. And these right here along this wall, I knew were very, very heavy. So when I need honey, I'm going to do hive inspections on these. I'm going to bring them into that room, open them up. And during the winter, my bees don't live very long because of the toxic chemicals killing the bees in the colony. The colony will get real small and they won't need all that honey. I'll take maybe a frame or two off of each one, depending on how many bees are in that colony. And the extra bees that come off that colony, I will give them to my smallest colonies that are in that room because it's warmer there. I have different temperatures, like this room right here. There's no window. It's not going to warm up during the day. If it's warm outside, it's fairly cool. A walk-in cooler would be ideal, but I don't have a walk-in cooler. So it's cooler here, and then I have a heater here. I'll put my smaller colonies here, and at night it's been below zero, so I turn the heater on just at night, and then I'll turn it off early in the morning, and that'll keep it warm during the day. So again, if you're not doing what I'm doing, and your bees run out of honey, and you don't do indoor winter hive inspections, and you don't pull honey from bees because you can't do it outside in the cold, your bees would all fly out and end up on the ground. I guess you're basically screwed. So I don't know if I'm the only person in the world that does indoor winter inspections. I'm up here in Michigan. It gets pretty cold, but it's not as bad as Minnesota. Okay, thank you.